Hello, I'm Tiến Tú. Welcome back to my channel. I'm investing in the last 5 years and achieved a result of 17% per year. And in this channel, I would like to share with you the updates in the market and what I'm doing right now. In the last week, there are some events that trigger my attention. And as we all know, in the last Friday, the stock market crashed 2%. The market index crashed 2%, which means that the individual stocks, some of them down 10%. For example, Nvidia down 10%. So you may think that well, this crash is too big. Well, 2% in one day is quite big, right? And in the last 2 weeks, the market index reduced 5%. 5% is enormous because when the market index reduced 5%, some individual stocks reduced 20%. You can name it Nvidia, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, Google. All the technology stocks reduced from 10 to 20%. And they are nearly at the price that we can buy now. However, if you take a look back from the beginning of this year, the stock market increased 10% from the beginning of the year to February and reduced 5% from February to April. So in global, it still gained 5% from the beginning of the year. So this reduce of 5% is not much, right? We are still gaining from the beginning of the year. As the Nasdaq index reduced 2% on the Friday, and the S&P 500 reduced only 0.5% in the Friday. In the S&P 500, it includes mainly the technology stocks and other stocks like financial, consumer stocks. And these stocks are still in green in the last Friday. So it's kind of the market rotation. People are moving money from the technology stock to put in the financial consumer stocks, which is a normal thing. This is normally happen when there's a big gain recently in the technology stock, and now so people draw some money back from the gain in the technology to reinvest in the financial, in the consumers stocks. So the question is now, what should we do? Should we buy now or not? So if you ask the question, should we buy now? I think it's resolved already 80% of the problem, because the new investors, when they see the market reduce 5% during 2 weeks, they are very, very scared that it's like the end of the world. So many new investors decided to get the money back, to sell all the stocks and take the money back. And maybe some of them will decide not to invest anymore. They take some gain or some loss they have in the last weeks and decide not to invest anymore, which is not a very good attitude in the market. Because we know that the correction of 5 to 10% happens once a year. It's normal that it happens once a year. I would be surprised that if the market continue to increase this year without 5 to 10% of correction. So what we should normally do is to take a small sum of money to buy the technology stocks which are reducing now, and some of them get to the level that is interesting to buy. For example, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Amazon. They are all the good companies, and they're in the very good price buying level. Why we should buy a small sum of money? Yeah, because that we don't know that if the market continue to decline a few percent more, can uh, maybe it can decline 2 to 3% more. In this case, you take the another part of the sum and to buy more. The question is, can it decline more to 15 to 20%? It's possible. But knowing that the crash of 10 to 20% happen only once every 3 years, so it is I think it will quite rare that it will happen this year, because we have the crash like this in the last year. So if it happened this year, it is even more important that we take a small sum of money to buy now, and to buy in when it reduces 2 to 3% more, and the rest of the money you invest when the stock market decline to 15 to 20%. I think it is a perfect condition, a perfect moment to buy it, because when you buy when it declined 15 to 20%, you will have directly a gain of 15 to 20%, because the market will recover really fast after a market crash. You see what happened in 2020 and in 2022. It recovered very fast and go to a higher level. And knowing that this crash happened only once every 3 years, so it will be very safe in the next 3 years with a gain of 15 to 20% when the market recover, and the gain in average 10% per year during 3 years. So maybe it's probably the gain of 50% in the next 3 years. So it is perfect moment to buy. Warren Buffett say that we should be greedy when others are fearful, which many investors are doing right now. They're buying companies when the market are in fear sentiment. But you need to be careful that you should only buy good companies, because only good companies will recover when the market recover. If you buy bad company, the company which doesn't have the earning, and you buy because you hope that it will have the earning, it will increase in the future, like Tesla. This is dangerous, because it's true that the price goes down and you buy at the margin of safety, but you are not sure that the price will go up when the market recover. So in conclusion, now is a good moment to buy. The market reduced 5%. If you have 1,000 euros, I think it makes sense to buy now with 300 euros. If the market reduce few percent more, you buy 300 euros. And if eventually it reduce 15%, you buy 400 euros. And then you are sure that you gain 15 to 20% this year, and 10% in the next 3 years. Make sure that you buy good companies, because only good company will give you the gain in the long term. So this is for today. See you in the next video. Bye bye.